number 5, which is cybersecurity. So this is possibly the most important section of our presentation. We've unfortunately seen a huge uptick in cybersecurity attacks since the quarantines have started. Hackers have been capitalizing on people working from home. So I want to go through a couple of things to keep yourself protected, and all of the services that we've talked about in the slide so far, and we continue to talk about, our company offers, and we are more than happy to help. We really want to help people get access to quality technology services. So one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself is having a backup of your data. It's extremely important. I cannot stress this enough. Cybersecurity threats like ransomware work best for hackers when you don't have a backup to get to your data if the originals are compromised. So additionally, you want to prepare for issues if something happens to your computer, or if there's an external hard drive failure, if you have a power surge, something happens to the building you have your data stored in. You want to vary your backups by having them on and off site, and you also want to have them in the cloud and have physical and local backups. You want to make sure that you have antivirus and security software that includes protection against ransomware and Trojan horse attacks. The two that I have listed here, Sophos and Eset, those include that. So they're heuristic based. And what that means is that they're not just based on signatures and definitions. They don't just scan the file as they come in and then ignore them like a lot of antivirus software does. They actually continuously watch the file and detect patterns based on previous attacks that have happened globally. And they're not just based on the signatures and definitions, they're based on behavior of the files and programs that are running on your computer. So those are really good ones. You also want to use a strong and complex password for your Wi-Fi. You want to use multi-factor authentication to get into your data. You want to make sure that your logging into your computer requires authentication to log in, even though you're at home, especially when you're at home. Again, because we've seen a lot of the uptick in cybersecurity attacks. Even when you're at home, you want to lock your computer when you walk away. And if you have an IT company, have them set an auto lock timer on all the company computers. The Microsoft Authenticator and Okta Verify that I have pictured here, those are types of multi-factor authentication devices that you can use and software. These are all these tips are based on different types of cybersecurity attacks. So some of the things that I talk about in this slide speaks to phishing attacks. So you want to be extra vigilant when checking the details of messages, especially when there are attachments, links, or when the sender is asking to provide any information. Have your spidey senses go off and make sure that you're really vigilant about checking where that email is coming from and why they're asking for that data. Things to look out for: you want to check for the spelling in the sender's name or email. And if something just seems out of the ordinary, follow up with either a phone call or a video chat or a text, something that's not just replying to that email. And don't be afraid to follow up if something seems out of the ordinary. Adding your photo to your email profile may actually help recipients who receive your email quickly identify that you're the legitimate sender easier. We actually had a case where the HR department of one of our clients flagged an email that was asking for the last payroll amount to be sent over. The email actually looked like it was coming from the president of the company, but the email address was one letter off, and it was one of those tricky letters. It was an I instead of an L from the correct name. And the president actually has a distinct picture in his profile that this imposter email lacked. So the HR department was able to flag that for the team and say, this doesn't seem right, and they flagged that to us as their technology provider. And then last tip on this slide is don't give any unsolicited access to your computer, even if they state they're from IT. You want to confirm and verify their identity and why they need access to your computer. This slide is all about patch management. It's extremely important. You want to make sure that you stay up to date with the latest versions, software updates, and patches. They come out for a few reasons, so product improvements, change in design, fixing bugs. Hackers get access to your data when they find vulnerabilities and loopholes. So, and an unpatched device is what can make you a target, because it's generally those patches fix those vulnerabilities.